Okay, we're going to be doing some more racing today, kind of changing up the pace a little bit. And we're going over to the B class, and we'll be using an Exocet, is what I believe these are called. Um, an open tubular chassis framework. Really, really fun car to drive. And we'll be at Lime Rock, getting ready for qualifying in the rain, or at least drizzle. So I have to put on wet tires, and I head out of the pits to start qualifying. And yes, it is raining. It's doing more than just drizzling. It's raining. So I just crossed over the timing lights, and this thing is sliding quite a bit, but the design of this car really lends itself really good to sliding. This thing is really fun to drive. It's not an incredibly fast machine, at least wise in the configuration that I have it. When you purchase this car, um, it has substantially more power than this. And then as you gain points and you can go into the shop and modify and do things, one of the things that you can do with this car is downgrade it to a less powerful engine, which brings it down into the B class. And you're still able to have all the handling characteristics, but it just doesn't have as much power. But it's still just an absolute blast to drive. And here's the third lap in qualifying. Looks like I'm going to be third. I might be able to do a little better than that. Yeah, I end up being second in qualifying with a 101 or a 1 minute 859, which isn't that bad at Lime Rock, especially since it's like in the rain. But between the time of qualifying and the race, the weather conditions changed, and the game automatically removes the wet tires and puts the regular tires back on. And this race is not all that long, so there'll be no need to go into the pits and change tires unless you have some kind of catastrophic misfortune. And I'm looking at the competitors, quite a few BMWs. There's a Porsche 911, a Ford Cobra, and that particular car um, is one of those guys, and I don't know where they get this game hack, but there's some game hack that just spews smoke out of the back of the car, like the tires are, racing all the time. But anyway, so we're off here. And this BMW gets past me. There's a Mazda RX-7, but that BMW slid out, and I'm getting through this corner better than he did. This Mazda RX-7 in front of me. This guy is kind of hindering my overall game plan, but I don't want to be slamming into people, so I have to slow down quite a bit here. I'm coming around to this top of this hill, going down this hill, and I'm able to duck underneath him, but he's got power and he's got speed, and I duck underneath him there, and somebody in the back hits me. So I'm just mean, there's somebody on my inside, and that's that Mustang that I was talking about that's got that smoke. And, he ends up slamming into the Mazda, and I end up slamming into him. And I'm like, I want to get past this guy. These guys are just so annoying that they do this. I don't know why they do that. I'm sliding all over the place. I'm in the grass. But these are really, really responsive cars, these Exocets. And so I was able to maintain it. And thankfully, I know the track well enough, and that silver and blue BMW, it slams into me. And so now I'm dropped all the way back to 12th place. And at this point, I'm really not a happy camper. But I do know that I qualified faster than these people, so I should be able to regain many of these positions. I'm gaining ground on this. I think this is a Hyundai in front of me, this white car. And he's really impeding my advancement. And I'm just trying to find an opening to get past this guy, but I want to drive and race clean, so I don't do some crazy maneuver. If I'm going to pass this guy, I want to pass him clean. And I get underneath him here, but he's got enough speed to fend me off. I'm thinking, well, maybe I can get him on the straightaway here. But he's got a little bit more pulling power down the straightaway than I do. But where this car shines is in the corners. Now, I almost go off track there, and there's a Mazda MX-5 that dives underneath me. So now I've got yet another car in front of me to try to contend with. And these guys seem to be tangling with one another, and while they do that, I figure, well, I'll just drive around them. But that Hyundai spun me out. But I did a complete 360 and turned. I don't know how that happened, but that's what happened. So I was able to just kind of continue on, so these guys didn't get all that far away from me. So I'm back on it. I got these guys on my side. There's somebody going in the pits right there. With only 8 laps in this race, I really don't think you need to go in the pits and get fresh tires. But I am able to get to these corners faster than these guys. And that Mazda spins pretty bad right there, slides pretty bad. And so now this Hyundai's in my way again. And I really want to get past this guy. And there's that Mazda back. And so I try to thinking, well, maybe I can get these guys on the outside. And sure enough, I do. And so now I've got clean sailing in front of me, and I'm not being hindered by those other cars, and I'm able to get around the track a little bit faster. And I've only got 2 laps left, so I don't know how many other people I might be able to rein in, but I do see one guy up there going through that little short chute right there. But they're still far enough ahead of me that I'm not really thinking I'm going to be able to pass them. Yeah, they're all the way at the end of the straightaway as I'm at the beginning of this straightaway. But I do know that I'm able to get to these corners faster than these other cars, so you can gain a lot of ground in these corners. And see, I've already gained quite a bit of ground on this car. I'm not exactly sure what kind of car that green car is, but I'm gaining ground on this guy. I might be able to get him before the end of the 8th lap. A little bit of cut across the track. We got a time penalty for that. And it looks like I'm going to be able to catch this guy on the straightaway here. And I'm really gaining ground on him in the corners. Oh, that's a Porsche. Oh, okay. So I get past him. And this guy goes off track a little bit, which slows him down. But he regains, and I brake hard so I don't hit him, and then I get underneath him. And that's that silver and blue BMW that hit me before. So I'm up to 8th, which is a halfway decent recovery, but it's certainly not the way that I wanted this race to go. But, you know, that's the way it goes. So that's my race in my Exocet at Lime Rock. I certainly hope you liked it, and I will see you on the racetrack.